Imagine an AI that doesn't just, answer your questions. Instead, it proactively browses the entire web, digs into complex topics, meticulously analyzes data, and then creates completely original content, all on its own.
Yeah, it's really like having a virtual assistant that actually thinks. It executes these complex multi-step tasks, freeing you up to just, observe, or maybe grab another coffee.
That's a tempting thought. Okay, let's unpack this a bit. Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we try to cut through the noise and bring you the insights that really matter. Today, we're taking a really deep look at ChatGPT's agent mode.
Right, and here's where it gets super interesting for anyone using AI today. This isn't just your average chatbot, not even close. We're talking about an AI that can handle really intricate multi-step workflows with a surprising amount of autonomy. We'll explore what agent mode actually is, kind of how it works under the hood, and crucially, 4 pretty surprising and actionable ways you can use it right now.
And, it's not all perfect. We'll also look at its current limitations, the reality of, say, website access, and those really key security considerations you need to be aware of.
Yeah.
This deep dive is essentially about giving you a clear roadmap, a way to really leverage this new phase of autonomous AI. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is agent mode, and how is it fundamentally different from the ChatGPT we might be used to?
Okay, so at its core, it's ChatGPT acting as what you might call a semi-autonomous AI entity. Think of an AI entity as basically an AI that can perform tasks independently once you give it a clear goal. What makes agent mode special is how it coordinates things. It uses various tools together like web browsing to search the internet, its own data analysis tools, what used to be code interpreter for crunching numbers, image generation with DLE3, and even connections to external apps you use, all working together to achieve a bigger, often pretty complex objective.
That's a really key distinction then. The core difference is the autonomy. Before, we were almost constantly guiding it turn by turn. With agent mode, you set the overall task like a single high-level goal, and the AI takes over. It autonomously plans, breaks down the work, decides which tool to use when, and just keeps executing. It might work for 10, 20 minutes, maybe longer, without you needing to constantly jump in. That's a big shift.
It really is. Think about standard ChatGPT. It's turn-based Q&A. You ask, it answers, it waits. Browse mode was better. It could summarize a few search results. But agent mode, it's a whole different beast. It self-plans. It can browse dozens of websites if needed, analyze what it finds, synthesize it all, and then deliver a complete result. It's a huge leap in, let's say, cognitive complexity for AI. And to get started, you will need a ChatGPT Plus account. Users usually get a limited number of agent sessions per month. You turn it on using the paperclip or Plus icon you already see in the chat, and you're always in control. You can stop at any time or even take over its browser if you need to nudge it.
Okay, we've covered what it is, how it works, but what does this shift really mean for us? How does agent mode change our role when we're working with AI?
You set the goal, the AI plans, and executes autonomously. You become the strategist.
Right, shifting roles. Okay, let's talk use cases. For content creators, finding fresh, trending ideas is, it's a constant struggle, isn't it? A huge time sink. Agent mode sounds like it could become your tireless trend researcher.
Absolutely. That's one of its real sweet spots. It's like having a dedicated research team ready to go. But here's the key. The quality you get out is directly tied to the quality of your prompt. You can't just say, find me content ideas. That's too generic. You need to be really specific. Give the AI a clear role, like act as a trend analyst for my personal finance YouTube channel targeting Gen Z in Vietnam. That specificity is crucial.
So it's more like writing a detailed brief than just asking a question. You define the context, the exact task, maybe data collection across Reddit, YouTube, Google Trends, specific blogs, then the analysis, and even how you want the recommendations formatted. Like a markdown table with video topic, keywords, unique angle.
Precisely. Think about how you'd brief a human analyst. You'd give them all that detail, right? The audience, the platforms, the desired output structure. The more detailed you are, the better the agent understands its mission. Then, once you hit go, you actually see it working. It systematically visits websites, runs searches, reads articles, takes notes. It's kind of fascinating to watch, like seeing research happen and fast forward.
That sounds incredibly powerful. But what about roadblocks? What happens when it hits a snag, like a website blocking its access? That must happen quite a bit.
Oh yeah, that's a very real thing. Lots of sites have pretty strong anti-bot measures.
Yeah.
But the agent is designed to adapt. It doesn't just give up. It logs the error, it reevaluates its plan, and it tries alternative routes. Maybe it looks for other sources citing that blocked content or finds public aggregators that summarized it. It has these little problem-solving loops built in.
I still wrestle with prompt drift myself sometimes.
Hmm.
Trying to make a prompt so perfect it covers every possibility.
Hmm.
It can get really complicated really fast. How do you avoid that?
Yeah, that's a common challenge. Finding that balance between detail and clarity definitely takes some practice. But when it works, the output can be incredibly rich. You get a detailed report, often with really specific ideas like investing with 1 to 5 million VND month, ETF roadmap for beginners 2025, or BNPL boom, how does buy now, pay later harm your wallet? These aren't just generic suggestions, they're tailored, data-driven insights based on the criteria you set.
And a good tip there is probably not to just take the first output as final, right? Like if the YouTube research seems a bit thin, you can follow up. Ask it to dig deeper into comments for audience questions.
Exactly right. It's often an iterative process. Refine, ask again, dig deeper. This use case, done well, can genuinely save you, say, 3-4 hours of manual research for each piece of content. That's a huge efficiency gain.
So thinking about this trend finding, what's the key takeaway to make it truly effective? Just asking for trends isn't enough.
Detailed prompts and smart follow-up commands are crucial for success. You guide the process.
Okay, let's shift gears. Conversion rate optimization, or CRO. For many smaller businesses, getting a professional website audit feels out of reach. It's expensive. But CRO, just improving the percentage of visitors who take an action, like buying something, is so important. Can agent mode step in here? Act like a virtual CRO expert.
Yes, this is another really practical application, and you're right, professional CRO audits cost a lot but offer huge value. Agent mode can give you a surprisingly detailed analysis here. The key, again, is that detailed prompt. You'd instruct it, act as a UX/UI expert with 10 years of experience. And UX/UI, of course, is user experience and user interface, basically. How easy and pleasant your site is to use. Giving it that specific senior persona changes how it analyzes things.
And then the mission. Analyze your e-commerce site, find the friction points, the bottlenecks, and suggest concrete ways to improve click-through rates or CTR and overall conversions.
Absolutely. Your prompt should detail the analysis process. Maybe ask it to start with foundational research on industry best practices for your specific niche. Then move to specific page analysis, really looking at things like your product thumbnails, the clarity and placement of your call to action buttons, those buy now or learn more buttons, and how well you communicate product benefits. You're guiding its focus.
And crucially, specifying the output format helps a lot, like a structured markdown table. Product area, specific issue, negative impact, and a suggested fix.
Exactly, and this is where it shines. Imagine getting specific, actionable recommendations like, replace the rotating hero carousel with a static image. They usually perform better. Or, fix cropped product thumbnails so people can actually see what they're buying. Or, always show prices clearly on product cards. Maybe even move add to cart to be the main CTA on product cards. These aren't vague ideas, they're concrete suggestions.
So after maybe 10, 15 minutes, you get this detailed audit. It might point out inconsistent product images or benefit statements that are too generic, or even a button color that just blends into the background. These are the kinds of small changes that can directly impact revenue. What's the biggest risk if you don't put the effort into a detailed prompt for this kind of task?
You'll just get vague, generic advice, not specific, actionable solutions tailored to your site.
Okay, market research. Before launching anything new, understanding customer pain points is, well, it's everything, isn't it? Agent mode sounds like it could automate reading hundreds, maybe thousands of customer reviews to find those hidden frustrations and desires.
Oh, this is a huge time saver. Huge. And it helps take some of the human bias out of the research process, too. You just need to clearly define the scope. Tell it your product, like a new smart thermos, and task it to find common problems and wishes for similar products already out there. That competitive angle is vital.
And you can point it towards specific data sources, like tech blogs, YouTube reviews, forums where people actually talk about these things. You could even build in a backup plan, right? Like if it can't access Amazon reviews directly, tell it to look for review roundup articles instead.
Exactly. You're building resilience into its research plan. Then it gets to work. It collects and pulls out the common complaints, the common praises, and starts grouping them into themes, things like battery life, durability, connectivity issues. It also identifies sentiment keywords, or those words that show positive or negative feelings, like frustrating or unreliable versus delightful or robust. It understands the emotion behind the words.
And the output could be something like a table,
Yeah.
showing the complaint theme maybe an example quote from real review, the mention frequency, how often it comes up, and importantly, a proposed feature solution. Could it even generate data for a pie chart, maybe, to visualize the biggest issues?
Yeah, absolutely. So for that smart thermos example, it might find battery life shorter than expected is, say, a 22% complaint. And right next to that, it suggests a solution. Increase battery to 3-4 hours minimum, add USB-C fast charging, maybe a wireless charging coaster. Or it finds app Bluetooth sync is unreliable, comes up 20% of the time, and suggests use BLE 5.3, add an offline mode, build robust reconnection logic. It connects the problem directly to a potential solution.
Manually reading all those reviews takes days. And honestly, it's easy to develop confirmation bias, right? You start noticing the complaints that match your own ideas.
Absolutely. Human bias is a killer here. Agent mode just looks at the patterns, the frequency. It doesn't have preconceived notions. It just says battery life is the biggest issue, mentioned 22% of the time. It gives you that objective view.
How does this directly shape product development then? It seems like more than just a feature list.
It pinpoints real user problems, which directly guides creating features people actually want and need.
Let's talk creative work. If you're designing products or marketing materials, knowing what designs are actually selling, not just what looks cool or what you personally like, is super important. Can Agent Mode help research successful designs and even create visual inspiration, like mood boards, those collections of images that set a style?
Exactly. This is about moving from just subjective taste to data-informed creativity. But again, the prompt needs specific success criteria. Don't just ask for popular designs. Define popular. Maybe it's designs with over 100 sales or 50 positive reviews uploaded in the last year. You need those metrics.
So you give it your niche, say programming t-shirt designs, tell it the success metrics, and ask it to collect images or detailed descriptions, and then analyze each one. Look at the style, colors, fonts, graphics, like a design critic crossed with a data analyst.
Precisely. The agent then browses platforms, maybe Etsy, Redbubble, filters based on your rules, analyzes the sales data, the reviews, and identifies common threads among the winners. Now, initially, it might just give you back a data table describing the designs, like Design A, works on my machine, meme, simple text, dark shirt. Useful but not visual.
Ah, okay. So getting the actual visual mood board requires an extra step, doesn't it?
Yes, this is where you smartly switch tools within the agent mode workflow. You tell it, okay, based on that analysis table you just made, now use Daily 3 to create a visual mood board. And Daily 3, for listeners, is that AI model that generates images from text descriptions. You could ask for, say, 6 to 8 t-shirt mock-ups showing the top design styles using diverse colors and fonts, all based on the sales data it just crunched.
So the result isn't just a pretty picture. It's a mood board grounded in what's actually proven to sell. That helps make much safer, more effective creative choices. Less guesswork.
And this whole concept gets even more powerful when you bring in connectors.
Ah, yes. Connectors. For anyone unfamiliar, connectors are basically ChatGPT's way of linking up and talking to other apps you use.
Right. You can connect it to things like Google Drive, your calendar, Gmail, Slack, Microsoft Teams, a whole range of business tools. Setting it up is usually pretty straightforward. Go into Settings, find connectors, pick your app, and grant the permissions it needs.
Whoa. Okay, imagine scaling this up. Once it's connected, you could automate some really complex workflows, like picture telling it. Every Monday morning, research the blogs of my top 3 competitors, summarize any new articles they published, analyze their content strategy shifts, save that full report to a Google Doc, and then email me a notification with the link.
Exactly. Or, based on that trend research you did earlier, generate 10 content ideas, and for each one, create an event in my Google Calendar, scheduling it for next week. The possibilities for automating routine tasks are genuinely transformative. It really opens things up.
That level of integration sounds amazing, but it also brings us back to the security point, doesn't it? You're giving it keys to your kingdom, essentially.
Yeah, absolutely. That power comes with responsibility, which makes our earlier caution about data access even more important when you start using connectors.
So what's the secret sauce for getting that visual mood board, not just the data points?
It's that two-step process. Analyze first, then use Daily E3 for image generation based on the analysis.
Okay, we've seen some incredible potential here, but let's be honest.
Yeah.
We need a clear-eyed look at Agent Mode's performance right now. Its strengths, but also its weaknesses. What does it really nail?
Definitely. It truly excels at those massive research projects, the kind that would take a human hours, maybe days. It's fantastic for repetitive tasks, for spotting patterns across lots of different data sources, and for structured analysis. And a key thing is it follows complex instructions step by step without skipping things, which humans, well, we sometimes do, especially when tasks get tedious. That consistency is a big plus.
But it's not flawless. What are the current limitations? Where does it still kind of struggle?
Well, as we mentioned, website blocking is a significant one. Many major sites, especially e-commerce and big media outlets, have strong anti-bot shields, and the agent can't always get through. Sometimes the results might be incomplete or it might pull in irrelevant info. So human verification and editing are absolutely essential. It's not quite set it and forget it yet.
And I've heard the timing can be a bit unpredictable too. Like sometimes the task takes way longer than you'd expect, and occasionally it might just stop
Yeah.
mid-task without a clear warning. That frustrating.
Yeah, that can happen. It's still evolving tech. And that brings us to the critical safety and security points. Remember, the agent sees whatever you give it permission to see. If you connect your Gmail, it can read your email. If you connect Drive, it sees those files. It can also view websites you happen to be logged into within its own browser session. So if you're logged into sensitive accounts, technically it could see that page content.
OpenAI says they don't store this interaction data long-term, which provides some comfort. But caution is definitely the best approach here. We'd strongly recommend not connecting super sensitive business accounts, things with private customer data or financial info, at least until the technology matures more and the security aspects are even clearer.
Agreed. Our honest take right now. Agent mode is excellent for research, analysis, ideation tasks where you can easily check, refine, and ultimately control the output. We wouldn't yet fully trust it for tasks that could directly harm your business if something went wrong, like, say, having it communicate directly with clients or execute financial transactions. Maybe down the road, but not quite yet.
So, boiling it down, what's the single most critical thing to keep in mind when using agent mode?
Always verify the results and be extremely cautious with sensitive data access. Trust, but verify. Sponsor.
So, wrapping this up, what's the big picture here? What does this all really mean?
Okay.
This deep dive really suggests that the era of, well, maybe AI employees isn't quite the right term, but AI assistants that can act autonomously, that era has truly arrived. Agent mode feels like a fundamental shift in how we approach work, moving beyond just using tools to having genuine automated help.
Yeah, and it's crucial to frame it correctly. It's not about AI replacing human creativity or strategic thinking. Not at all. It's about freeing you up from the time-consuming, often tedious research and execution parts of the job so you can focus your energy on the higher-level strategic decisions, the insights, the things that really drive growth and innovation.
It seems clear that businesses and even individuals who start experimenting with these autonomous AI agents now are likely going to gain a significant edge, the potential to save time, and just the sheer scale at which it can process information. It's undeniable. It really is about working smarter.
Definitely. So your roadmap to becoming an agent mode master really starts right now.
Try one of the use cases we talked about. Maybe start with the website analysis on your own site, something you know well. Begin with relatively simple tasks, build complexity gradually, and critically, always verify the results. Don't just trust them blindly, especially at first.
And experiment. Play around with different prompts. Change the role you assign the AI, tweak the context, adjust the output structure, see what works best for your specific needs and goals. And, as we keep saying, always prioritize security when you're thinking about connecting accounts. Be mindful of what you're granting access to.
The technology isn't perfect, no doubt. It's still evolving fast. But it's powerful enough right now, today, to be a genuine game changer in how you work and maybe even how you think about problems.
Just remember this framing. AI handles the heavy lifting of research and execution. You handle the vision, the strategy, the critical thinking, and the human touch. That's a really powerful combination for anyone looking to innovate and work smarter.